Alright guys, this review is more back from the review on a kitchen item. This is the Ninja Coffee Bar System. There's two versions of this. This is the $99 version. It does not do tea, which is the real difference. So about $99 for this, $150 for the higher up version that does tea as well as coffee. But other than that, it basically does all the same stuff. It does cold brew over ice. It'll do not an espresso, but a concentrated form of it. And it'll also froth milk and do some other little gimmicky things that are actually very, very nice in the coffee maker. But before we get into the actual review itself, please, if you find this video helpful, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like it, and if you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up to the video. So again, this is a price point of about $100 at Sam's, so that's a bulk buy club. It's a little more, a little less, depending on where you're buying it. If you're buying it at like a Walmart, maybe a little bit less. If you're buying it online at Amazon, a little more to cover that shipping cost. But overall, it's a very, very cool item. We've used it for several days now. Now, I don't know if it'll last years and years and years, but it certainly lasted well, and all the little functions on it are very, very, well, functional. They're kind of nice. So this is the Ninja brand. It comes with a carafe that holds about 10 cups, and the reservoir, just like any other reservoir percolating coffee maker, this is what it does. Excuse me, not percolating coffee maker, drip coffee maker. So the only thing you won't really see on here is me actually making a cup of coffee. You'll see me using the frothing function, which you're seeing the little tool there on the screen right now, as well as the concentrate function, which is essentially their espresso without calling it an espresso function. Because technically an espresso machine does something very special with a certain coarseness of coffee grounds. It's a little more material that makes it into the actual drink. But it's basically, what you have here is a 4-ounce concentrated version, which is basically a shot of espresso. It tastes a lot like an espresso, and that's kind of what they're going for. They also have an 8-ounce version, which is a little weaker, but it's still much stronger than a normal cup of coffee. And it's a very, very good little system. It doesn't take up much space, and it looks very, very sleek on the kitchen counter, which is kind of nice. It comes with a little coffee scooper, so you have to measure it out, and it actually gives you instructions about how much for each one, how strong you want it. And it's a very, very nice, well-made item. Like, everything feels fine with it. The only thing you got to do before using it is clean out the filter that comes with it. You got to clean out the carafe with soapy water, and you clean out the reservoir. The only thing that is dishwasher safe in the entire apparatus is going to be that carafe. So do not put anything else in the dishwasher. It can cloud it up or damage it because there's little rubber pieces and stoppers you got to be careful with that need to be hand washed. It does come with its own permanent filter, which is very, very nice. And for $100, you would hope it would come with one because that's not inexpensive for a coffee maker. As far as the utility of this item, it's basically for the person who wants the convenience of the Keurig without being forced to buy K-cups and who isn't in as big a hurry as somebody with Keurig. So you have the option to make a small cup of coffee, a half cup, a full cup, a half carafe, full carafe, a to-go cup, a travel cup, a multi-serving cup. You can change it from classic roast to a rich blend. It'll be a little more intense. You can over-ice brew. It gives you lots of little options there. This right here is just a quick demonstration of what the froth looks like. You'll see a before and after of the actual milk. So this I thought was gimmicky and dumb until it worked, and it worked great. It froths some milk up. The only thing I have not tested it on heavy cream to see if we'll actually make the heavy cream into whipped cream given enough time. Here you'll see it actually operating in just a quick moment. And there it goes. There it's spinning. You just push a little button on top, and it's ready to go. So here you're going to see me give a quick demonstration with about a little, just shy of maybe a third of a cup of milk in a small glass, and this is whole milk, and this is the frother actually working. And you already see it's building a good bit of volume there. And there you go. So it's a little over a half a glass at that point. It drips off, and you just take off a little piece and rinse it with some water. It's good to go. And very quickly you will see a before and after shot in just a few seconds, but it'll drip out. You want to clean off the actual frother very quickly, otherwise you might end up with buildup, and that's always kind of nasty with whole milk, and certainly with any cream used. I actually do use the International Delight stuff, and it works just fine in that as well, so like half and half with sugar and flavoring. And there's the before and after. So the frothing function does work, and it does work to a pretty fair degree. I thought it was be a gimmick, and it works out pretty daggone great. So that's my opinion on that. As far as the actual concentrate function, I'm not going to show you a full-blown coffee making video. That's kind of dumb to show you just dripping a full carafe of coffee into a full carafe with a coffee in there. It's going to be kind of silly. But this is the concentrate function. So what it will do is basically it'll saturate the grounds for a little while. and then it'll spit out the actual very, very dark, very, very rich coffee. It is bitter. I just put 8 o'clock coffee in there, and my wife's more of the Starbucks nerd who wants to have that bitter coffee with the sweet. I gave some to her, and she was, this tastes great. This is the bitterness I want. She was very happy with it. It's not, if you like espresso and you drink espresso a lot, you're like, ooh, this isn't really espresso. And you'll notice if you're a coffee snob, it's not really espresso because it's not made technically to the standards of what an espresso would do, espresso machine would do. This will basically just super saturate the coffee grounds and then send it back down. It's more concentrated coffee, but it's not up to an espresso. However, if you're just someone who wants to take their macchiato and throw an eye-opening shot of espresso in there, you probably won't notice a real difference. You'll basically notice it tastes a little bit, instead of just being a hot milkshake and tasting sweet, it'll be a hot milkshake plus a good bitter bite to it from the concentrated 4 ounces of espresso, or not really espresso, excuse me, 4 ounce concentrated version of their coffee. So again, espresso I think is an industry term that they cannot use unless it technically does go through the espresso making process, which again involves finely ground coffee that's pushed through with nearly boiling hot water, and that's very complex and above what a general coffee maker would do. But it does make a much more concentrated version of coffee out of this machine, which is very nice. And that little fold down arm is also great for smaller cups, and it avoids the splashback, which is a cool little feature. And if you don't want to use it, you can just go ahead and just flap that thing back up and then put a normal tall travel mug in there, and it can sit on the hot plate as long as the hot plate's not on, and it'll be fine. But overall, this is actually just a cool little system, and I thought it would be just a waste of money to be returning it and going back to my old school, like straight up dirty paper filter system. But I'm actually very, very happy with how this thing turned out, because it's just been a really fun thing to have around the house, and we're really enjoying it a whole lot. Other than that, guys, there's not a whole lot left of this review except just an up and down view of except for a demonstration of how to actually set the timer if you need to see that. But other than that, I don't need to keep talking. Y'all basically seen the cool functions of it, and now you can see me actually set the clock on it if you don't understand how to do that based on the context of what a coffee maker does. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.